Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to go over the daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. I'll give you my financial opinion. It's just an opinion. Please don't take it as advice. And we'll jump over or cover the dollar, the 10-year yield, some of the precious metals themselves in terms of contract prices, and then go over ETFs and some individual companies. So we're going to dive right in, and I'll give you my opinion and what I'm seeing. So here we go. So on the dollar, I've got the dollar and gold here, and they are moving somewhat inversely correlated. Small up day in the dollar, small up day in gold. Nothing really to write home about. This is a dollar from a kind of a big picture view. This is the last commodity bull market till 2008, and it bottomed again in 2011 for the dollar. We came on up in a recovery phase of real estate, and I would say we're starting to enter an expansion phase, which always has a declining dollar. We have broken the resistance of this bottom from 2011 on upward into 2020. We've broken to the downside, and we have further downside pressure, I think, and the last resistance level to really drop is at about 90, somewhere in that range. I am looking for downward movement in the dollar index, because that's what has occurred during other expansionary phases of real estate, and it does take time to play out. The 10-year yield, looking at yields, usually when yields go up, money is leaving bonds. It's afraid of inflation, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for higher yields or interest rates. We are in this consolidation pattern. We had this funky entrance into it where we came from the bottom up. So I think it might be a continuation pattern to the upside, but we have to wait and see which way this thing breaks. It's consolidating right to a point. You're probably going to see a big move at any time. Looking at gold itself, we've had these two large down days and another large down day here. We've got them sprinkled all throughout on this side of the chart. We've got a couple over here. I'd like to see some more momentum gain where we start breaking to the upside here. Looking at this guy here, we do have a downtrend break, and we haven't basically come back below it. So I think we're still game on for potential move to the upside. We do have a bullish engulfing, a small one right here. We'll see if that plays out to the upside. So we'll have to watch and see what happens here. Silver, again, we broke this downtrend right here. We've got basically a flat day today. It did trade down and buyers bought it back up, so that's a good sign. We were probably flirting with this resistance or support line now, as we were flirting with this support line right here. We're still above it. So it's still good. And platinum sold off here. We got a nice little up day here with a wick at the bottom. Sometimes that means it's a little short-term bottom. Depends on what we see tomorrow. Looking at the ETFs, exchange traded funds or stocks. Again, I don't see any clear patterns here. We do have a little bit of a bullish engulfing, this big up day here. Usually, it looks like we are still in this downtrend and have not broke it yet, which we are. So we're working on it. SILJ broke its downtrend and put in what looks to be, let me see if I can see the bottom there, a bullish engulfing pattern here, which means that statistically it wants to move higher. Looking at some of the individual companies, they're putting in bullish engulfing patterns, which usually means it wants to move up. We've broken the downtrend. It should be clear as day here. I'll draw it in for everybody. There's your downtrend break. And we're most likely, with this pattern statistically, has a strong probability of moving up. It doesn't mean the next day will be up. It means that the overall trend will be higher, statistically. We're seeing it across the entire area, sector. Again, Mag Silver is seeing it as well. And aftermath silver, we've got the large up days and the small little pullback. That's bullish from what I've seen. We also have a downtrend line break. I think we're probably going to move higher, and if you like AAGFF, I would be buying it now, if it were me. Sandstorm Gold, I would be buying it right here. And oh wait, I did a little bit. So that's where I bought it, with this bullish engulfing, and we're basing out. We've got larger up days, smaller down days. I think we're going to move up any point. And Teuton Resources, another one that I like, that I would be buying down here. So those are a couple that I like. Those are the ones that I own. And you guys can obviously do what you want. It's not advice. It's just my opinion and what I'm doing. I think gold doesn't look weak. It looks okay. We just need buyers to step in. Silver, in the silver mining companies, they're putting in bullish engulfings, which means people are positioning for a move higher. Usually they position in the mining companies first, and then the precious metals follow. Usually. Doesn't mean every time. So that's what I'm seeing in the charts. I'm actually a buyer here. So that's where I'm buying. So if you guys want to know where I'm buying, I am buying Sandstorm Gold, Teuton Resources. I purchased, those two. Trying to think if I bought anything else. Sandstorm Gold, Teuton Resources, the royalty companies. So I've bought those two. I haven't bought anything else, not in gold and silver, but those are the two that I've been buying. This is where I bought them. I've cost averaged in, and I cost average into positions. I don't buy everything at once. So I buy a little bit, look for positive development, look for a bottom and a turn. If it turns up, I buy more. That's how I work. It's basically just my strategy. I look for indications of a bottom. I look for bullish engulfing, bullish piercing, bullish hammer patterns, reversal candlestick patterns, which I'm seeing. I buy some, and then I look for confirmation of the move higher. Once we see the confirmation of the move higher, I buy some more. And I keep piling into it, usually at that bottom section. And sometimes I'm wrong, and I have to write it down because I know the fundamentals are good. I know the value is good. I know that gold hasn't accounted for the money supply. I know that the market conditions are behind me, or will be behind me very soon, with, I think, a declining dollar, increasing interest rates from the expansion phase of real estate. So I've got this lined up and a strategy around the thesis. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.